Hi, gang. Bob Boving with you for the Mystery Project. Tonight, we continue our Peggy Delaney series by James W. Nichol. There seems to be a good chance that Peggy, Carlos, and Amber will finally find a house that will hold all of them without cramping. But is that all there is to worry about? The play is called Once Upon a Time, starring Kyra Harper.
Hello there. You've reached Peggy Delaney, Toronto Tribune. If you have something confidential you want to pass on, just leave your name and number. The walls have ears. I'll get back to you. If you're calling to give me fulsome, unqualified praise for my columns, feel free now. If you're calling to scream at me, fascist, socialist, cop hater, cop lover, pro-lesbian, anti-lesbian, or anything else that strikes your fancy, go for it. After all, this is a quasi-democracy. Hi, Bernie.
Hi.
I was in the neighborhood, so I thought I'd... What's all this?
I'm in show business.
Really?
Remember my cleaners were threatening to walk out on me?
Uh-huh.
Well, we compromised. I promised to give the guys a raise, $2 an hour, and let them wear Halloween costumes the week of Halloween.
And what did they promise?
Not to walk out on me.
You're a tough bargainer, Bernie.
Yeah, well, I told them I'd have to approve the costumes. Just because we're Cinderella cleaning from the village doesn't mean they can arrive at my customers' doors in ostrich feathers with their heinies hanging out.
Right.
So they drew pictures of the outfits they want to wear. Oh, my God.
Let's see. They're just trying to get to you, Bernie.
Yeah, well, it's working.
Oh... Carlos wants to look through some house that's for rent tonight. He really wants the three of us to live together. I do too. Sometimes. Then I get nervous. I have 3 columns a week to file every week, and I work at home a lot. I need time to think, to write. And I don't have any set schedule. I'm out half the night following up leads, hanging around waiting to interview people. Amber and I are managing fine, but Carlos is different. He'll expect more.
More what?
More togetherness. It's a huge commitment to make, to live together. Don't you think?
You know, you look scared.
Mm-hmm. Why? I mean, people move in together every day. It's no big deal.
Oh, yes, it is a big deal. Particularly with Amber involved. You can't move in one week and decide to move out 2 weeks later. Not a good example.
No.
At the same time, you have to risk something to get something. You can't be a control freak all your life.
No. What do you think I should do, Bernie?
Sweetheart.
What?
How would
Gee, it's a big house, isn't it?
Well, looks big from here. Man said it was big. That's what we're looking for, right?
Right. I like it.
Honey, we're not even inside yet.
He's expecting us, I hope. Said he'd be here.
How many bathrooms?
No, I didn't think to ask.
That's okay. It's just... But I'd like to have my own bathroom, if I could.
I hear you.
Right on time. Mr. Sabo?
Yes. Mr. Barker?
Indeed. It's a terrible night. Come here. We're going to repaint all through. Well, as you can see, we're in the process of stripping off this old wallpaper.
Did you have tenants in here before?
No. This is our old family home, and Father died, so we decided to put it up for rent.
I like the bay windows. And the high ceilings?
Uh-huh. It would cost a lot to furnish. How many rooms?
10. Well, no, actually, there's 11. That's if you count the dressing room upstairs.
How many bathrooms?
2. There's a large one upstairs and a small one just off the kitchen. And the window in the upstairs bathroom has a wonderful view. You can see Lake Ontario when the leaves are off the trees. Now, the dining room is through here.
I'm going to go check out the bathroom upstairs.
Fine, yeah. You turn right at the top of the stairs and second door on your left.
What do you think? Too big?
Well, it's an impressive house, Carlos.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? But we don't want to be crowding each other. You need office space.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't know there was anyone in here. Are you all right? Is there something wrong? You look cold. You're soaked.
Shh. Don't say anything. He'll hear you. I'm not here.
You're not?
No. That's a good girl. You won't tell anyone, will you? I'm not doing any harm. It's cold and wet out. Please.
Okay.
Don't say a word to anyone.
No. Maybe I'll go now. I'll just go.
Shh.
Yes.
Promise?
Yeah. I promise.
Bye.
Oh, there you are. Thought I'd lost you. What's behind that door?
Nothing.
Let's have a look.
Mom.
Oh, this is nice. Why did you say there's nothing behind the door? This is a great little room.
Yeah.
I guess it's the dressing room Mr. Barker mentioned. I love the little round window, don't you? And a wall full of shelves, yes.
Yeah.
Everything all right?
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
Where's Carlos? Checking out the basement?
No. He's coming along. Coming along. This used to be the maid's room. Then in later years it was the dressing room. At least that's what Mother called it.
Your family must have been well off to have a maid's room.
Once upon a time, before the crash of 1929, I was born in 1930.
Bad timing.
Yeah, well, Father carried on more or less as he always had, whether any money or not. You know, putting on a good show, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He was a man of the old school. Proud, rigid, fearsome. I know I was scared of him.
Oh?
Yeah, but that's all ancient history. Mother's been dead for many years now, and Father, let's see, he's been dead for 10.
Amber?
Uh-huh.
Is something wrong?
What?
You got quiet all of a sudden back at the house. You haven't said much since. Are you changing your mind? Would you rather just keep things the way they are? Just you and me?
No, it's not that. It's,
What?
Well, I made this promise to someone not to say anything, but I don't think I should keep it. That's all.
Oh. Somebody at school, you mean?
No. Mom, something very weird is going on.
Like?
Like, in that house, there's an old lady in there.
What?
An old lady. She was in that dressing room. She was soaked with rain, and she made me promise not to tell anyone she was there, but the really weird thing was she disappeared.
Amber...
No, she did. Oh, remember when you came upstairs? I just closed the only door into that room, and we went right back in, and she was gone.
You were talking to her?
Yes. Mom, She was shivering and was so cold, and she didn't want that man to know she was there, but what if she gets sick? She looks sick already and kind of confused, and I think we should do something. We have to do something.
Well, like what?
Like, go back and find her? Talk to her?
Well, I have that man's home phone number somewhere. Carlos gave it to me. I could call and tell him to talk.
No, I promised her. At least, you talk to her first. Maybe we could find out who she is and we could help her. Just don't call the man.
You thought she was that scared of, what was his name, Harold Barker?
Yes, she was. She seemed really scared. Mr. Barker's still here. The house has lights on.
Does it ever? Lit up like a Christmas tree. Every room.
Maybe he's showing someone else through.
Maybe. That's not the same car that was sitting in the driveway before, though. He had a minivan. That's a little sports car.
Oh, right. Somebody just turned the lights on in the basement.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that somebody beat us to it.
To what?
Looking through the house for the old lady. If she was soaking wet, then she must have come to this place from somewhere else. So maybe somebody missed her.
But why would she come here in the first place?
I don't know. Amber, remember when Mr. Barker said there hadn't been any previous tenants? That the house was up for rent because his father had died?
Uh-huh.
Well, later, upstairs in that dressing room, he said his father had been dead for 10 years.
That's right, I remember.
So, who has been living in this house for the last 10 years? And why go to the bother of renting it? Usually, if a house is inherited and the family doesn't want it, they sell it. Unless, for some reason, they can't.
What are you saying?
That sometimes families don't treat old people very well. And that maybe the frightened old lady you saw is the person who's been living here. And just maybe, the reason the family can't sell this place is because she owns it.
Yes?
Oh, hi. Is Mr. Barker still here?
No, he's not. Why?
Oh, it's just we were here earlier and Mr. Barker was showing us through the house. And we really like it. But we'd like one more quick look through before we make up our minds.
Couldn't it wait until tomorrow?
No, I'm tied up the rest of the week. I'd really like to make a decision tonight. It's just we want to have another quick look at the bedrooms.
Well, Dad told you how much we're asking a month?
$2,100, that's fine.
And we'll require references.
I'll give you a ton of them.
All right, then. I'm Pamela Barker.
I'm Peggy. This is Amber.
Hi.
Go on upstairs, and I'll just be a minute. I'm just, checking something down in the basement.
Lights on in the dressing room, too.
They're on everywhere.
So, she was standing in this room.
And I closed the door for like 5 seconds, and then she was gone.
There must be another way out of this room.
I hope so.
Amber, look.
What?
These clothes hooks. What are they screwed into? Not plaster. Feels like wood under the wallpaper. Oh, see the edges? It's an old door covered with wallpaper. And I bet if I pull the hook towards me, the door will swing.
What are you doing? Nothing.
I just noticed this door. Does it open?
No. Don't do that.
It does open. Where does it go?
Wait. Let me look first. This was a maid's room years and years ago. I forgot this was even here. It's just a flight of stairs that used to lead down to the kitchen.
Look, Amber.
Is it, empty, you mean?
Of course. They're just stairs. But they don't go anywhere anymore. They've been sealed off behind a kitchen wall.
Oh. Your father was saying that your grandfather died 10 years ago. Is that right?
Well, why would that concern you?
I was just wondering who's been living here ever since, that's all. He said there were no tenants. So if the house has been sitting here empty, has the wiring been checked or the plumbing?
Of course it hasn't been sitting here empty. I've been using it, off and on, going through law school. It was my student digs, all through university.
Roomy digs.
I had friends staying with me. Look, I've got to go somewhere else. I'm very busy, so if you don't mind...
I've got your father's number. I'll call him tomorrow.
Terrific. I'll just start turning off lights.
While you're doing that, I'll go ahead and take one more look downstairs.
I'd really appreciate it if you'd hurry.
There she goes.
Uh-huh.
Huh. Didn't take her very long to turn off all the lights and get out of there.
No?
She just about freaked when you opened that door.
Because she was expecting to see that old lady hiding down there.
Yep. Did you believe her when she said she lived there going through university?
No.
Neither did I.
Amber, I've got Mr. Barker's number. We know his first name is Harold. We could look up his address in the phone book.
And what? Go see him?
Well, I think it's time we found out what's going on. Don't you?
Yes.
Come, sit down here. Well, this is a pleasant surprise.
Thanks.
You're sure you don't mind us looking you up, dropping in?
Of course not. I live alone. I welcome company. Simply welcome it.
Well, we're enthused about renting your house. There's just a few questions I was hoping you could answer.
Certainly, I'll do my best.
You said your father had passed away 10 years ago, but that you didn't have any tenants in the house?
That's right.
So, just who was in the house?
Is that important?
Well, an empty house sitting in the middle of the city doesn't stay empty very long. Squatters and druggies, I'd just as soon know if it was the neighborhood drop-in.
No, good goodness, no. My sister, actually. We inherited the house together. When Father died, she was living there.
Oh?
You have a sister?
Yes, I certainly do, the poor old soul. She was 80 this past May. She really shouldn't have been living in that old place all by herself. But she simply would not leave. She lived there all her life, you see. Looked after my father when Mother passed away, and then stayed on after Father's death. Poor old Dora. I'm afraid she didn't have much of a life.
No?
Her father was a little bit of a tyrant. She did have a beau once, though many years ago now. It was sad, actually. He was killed in the war. Went overseas and never came back. Poor old Dora. That was it for her. She never recovered. And to tell you the truth, she became more and more peculiar as the years went by.
So where's your sister now?
Well, she fell ill. Pneumonia. I found her in her bed 6 weeks ago, delirious with fever. My daughter and I got her into the hospital. Pamela, that's my daughter. She persuaded me that it would be much too dangerous to allow Dora to live alone anymore. So she was right, of course. But it hurt my heart to have to tell Dora she wouldn't be returning home. But we do have her situated in an old-age home now, so she gets excellent nursing care. It's all for the best. But it's difficult, you know. I mean, I'm trying to do what's best for my sister, but it's always difficult for families in these situations, isn't it? I mean, to know what to do.
Yeah.
Mom, I think we should,
Mr. Barker, you should phone that old age home because we don't think she's there.
I beg your pardon?
Or better still, does your daughter carry a cell phone?
Yes.
Then call her, because your daughter knows she's missing. She probably hasn't called you yet because she didn't want to upset you.
Dora ran away today, Mr. Barker.
What?
She went back home. I saw her. Pamela's car's not here, and the house is still dark.
Good. Just because her father told her he wanted her to go to the police, I wasn't sure she actually would. She seems a little hard-headed, doesn't she?
Well, she should have gone to the police right away, as soon as that old age home called and told her aunt was missing.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we can relax. Mr. Barker does seem to have the best interest of his sister at heart, and the cops are involved now. Let's go home.
Dora could still be in there.
Well, if the cops don't find her anywhere else, they'll come here and search the place from top to bottom. They'll find her. Okay?
Okay. Mom, stop.
What?
A light just went on in the basement.
Are you kidding me?
No? See?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think it's Dora?
Well, who else?
What are we going to do?
She could disappear again by the time somebody else gets here.
Yeah, she could.
Amber, you know when I rushed back down the stairs to have another look around?
Uh-huh.
Well, actually, I unlocked the side door.
You did what?
Just in case. I didn't like that woman, and I thought if something happened, if we needed to rescue the old lady or something, we could at least get back inside the house.
What are you saying?
I'm saying, let's see who's down there. Remember where the basement steps are?
No. I think maybe down the end of this hallway. Should we turn on the light?
Not yet. Ah, there's the light from the basement. See?
Yeah.
Okay. Shh, shh. Here's the top of the steps. Careful.
Do you see anything?
Not yet. Wait. Listen.
Mom, I see her. That's her. That's Dora.
Where?
There, at the far end.
What's she doing?
I don't know.
Walking back and forth. Back and forth.
In front of a door, Mom.
Uh-huh. Back and forth. Like she wants to open it. But she's
afraid. She's afraid. We should do something. Have to.
Look. She stopped. She is opening it.
Oh, God. She just went in there. What are we going to do?
You wait here. I'll just follow her and make sure she's okay.
Mom?
I'll be fine. She's an old woman.
Mom?
Hi, Dora.
Oh, you go away, please. Go away.
What have you got there? Can I see?
No.
Here, let me take it. Let me help. Please.
No.
Mom? What is it? What is that thing she's holding?
Oh, it's just a musty old doll's blanket, I think, and... Oh, God. Oh. Dora? Let me see what you've got.
No. It's nothing for you to worry about, my dear. It's such a long, long time ago. Please. Oh, no. Please, don't look. Oh, please.
Newborn. Died within a day, maybe. First report from the lab.
How many years ago?
Not sure yet. 50, 60 years, something like that.
So it must have been Dora's baby.
That's a good guess.
Any signs of trauma?
No. But she could have smothered it.
Or it could have been stillborn, Carlos.
Could have been. It was premature. Couldn't have weighed more than 3 pounds.
Will you prosecute her?
We have to investigate. Then we'll talk to the Crown. I doubt it.
Oh, good. 60 years ago, she was saying goodbye to her fiancé.
Oh?
He went off to war, died overseas.
Mm-hmm. And, quite likely, left her pregnant.
And she was afraid of her father, afraid of what people would say, so she hid her pregnancy. If the baby was born prematurely, that wouldn't have been too hard to do.
The baby died. She hid it, and guarded the remains all these years. But now she's been moved out of the house. She was terrified somebody would find it. She was trying to get up the courage to move it somewhere else. Bury it, something.
God. Amber and I didn't do her much of a favor, did we? Amber's really upset.
Everyone's upset. Interviewing Mr. Barker about all this wasn't easy. His daughter was just speechless.
Oh, really?
Well, no. She did ask me if we were still interested in the house.
What did you say?
That I'd talk to you.
Right. I want us to rent it, Carlos.
You do?
Yeah.
You've just heard Once Upon a Time, our Peggy Delaney episode for this week by James W. Nichol. In the cast today, Kyra Harper was Peggy, Katerina Scorsone was Amber, John Stalker was Bernie, George Booza was Carlos. With them were Gerard Parks as Harold Barker, Noni Griffin as Dora Barker, and Diana Belshaw as Pamela. The music was composed and conducted by Milan Kimlicka and performed by Ray Parker, Kevin McKenzie, Rick Whitelaw, and Scott Alexander. The recording engineer was Wayne Richards, with sound effects by Matt Wilcott. The associate producer was Colleen Woods. Production and direction were by Bill Howell, the executive producer of the Mystery Project. Our coordinating producer is Barry Morgan. I'm Bob Boving, thanking you for listening.